your inspiration station.
Isikhululo sakho senkuthazo.
Kingfisher FM.
All right, we are back and we have Carl on the line this time. Carl, how you doing?
Very good morning. I'm doing so well. Lovely to be online with all the wonderful folk in the friendly city.
Oh man, we are so excited to have you on air with us and to tell us, as the CEO and founder of this phenomenal initiative, what is Food Socks?
Yeah, it's exciting, I must say. It's something we came up with, or I came up with a little while ago. You know what, just to give you a bit of background.
Yeah.
The Food Sock was born out of an absolute desperate need. Sadly, a desperate need that this country, a lot of people in this country are finding themselves in. So I've been involved in charity work for decades, if I can put it that way. And for the last few years, I've been running essentially a food bank in the Garden Route called the Garden Route Food Pantry.
Lovely.
And we have found ourselves inundated, and I think a lot of people will identify with this, with people that are just battling the economy. You know,
Sure.
you're paying bills, you're paying your rent and your bond and your car payments, and really just trying to keep your head above water.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, once you've paid all the things that you cannot negotiate, you know, such as those debit orders, you've got something left for food, and it's just not enough. People just aren't making it.
Yeah.
So hence the Food Sock was born.
Wow, I love that. So tell us firstly, when did the Garden Route Food Pantry actually start?
So we officially started in December of 2020. So we're talking around about the COVID years when things were in its most difficult time for us. You know, the Garden Route is a very, very large area. We're talking about from sort of Riversdale, you know, the Hesekwa area, right through to Plettenberg Bay, and then we've got the Klein Karoo and the Central Karoo with areas like Beaufort West.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Sure.
And it's also considered one of the poorest, if not the poorest area of the Western Cape. So it has a huge need when it comes to poverty alleviation and nutrition.
Yeah.
And sadly, there are no organizations working on scale to help people with food. So there's no food banks, there's no major organizations that are operating on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
So because of that, we decided this area needs a food bank. So that's what we did. We got a warehouse, we got a little bit of funding, and we took a plunge and decided to open this facility.
Oh man, that is absolutely incredible. Tell us about the kind of meals that are in these food socks that you now produce.
Yeah, so what we did was, now, just to mention, on the food pantry side, we basically rescue food. So we get from farmers, factories, and even individual people that want to contribute. And those foods generally go out to soup kitchens, crèches, children's feeding centres, etc.
Yes.
But because we've had so many people from our home point of view coming to ask us for food, we can't give everybody a food parcel. It's just not possible. It's just financially, it's completely impossible to do that.
Yeah.
So with the Food Socks, what we decided to do is to create meals in a bag. So it's a sock little bag. It's a little tube actually, made from biodegradable plastic as well. So we're looking after the nature as well as far as we can.
Right.
And the contents of each bag is completely different. They're soya-based meals, so they're also great for vegetarians.
Okay.
And each one is a meal. So we've got, for example, a range of 6 different options at the moment.
Fantastic.
So we've got a pasta bolognese, we've got a chicken vegetable soup, we've got a lovely mutton stew, a chicken pasta, a tomato greedy, and a chicken biryani.
Sure.
And what's nice about these is that they work very simply. We tried to make something that was extremely affordable, that is easy to prepare, and that is nutritious. So literally, once you chop the bag open, you pour it into a pot of water and cook it, it's done.
Wow.
You add nothing, not a flavouring, not a stock cube, not salt, nothing. It's all in one bag.
That is amazing.
And the nice thing about this is, when I say it's extremely affordable, for one bag, which feeds 4 to 6 people, and the reason we say 4 to 6 is because it's 4 adult portions, so you could easily have a family with mom and dad and even 3 kids eating off one bag, and that is 30 Rand.
What?
30 Rand only. From our warehouse, 30 Rand is that. We have got, now the difficulty is we're based in George.
Yes.
So because of that, we've got to get the stock to people, and it's obviously courier cost. So what we've done is we've actually got resellers that are appointed. We do have resellers imported into the business, so that's great news.
Okay.
And people can actually buy directly from there. But slightly more because they've got to cover the courier cost. So
Yes.
it's 40 Rand. And
Okay.
even at that price, you're feeding up to 6 people for 40 Rand.
Oh my goodness.
We also have half-size socks. So if you've got, let's say, an elderly person, somebody's mom and dad, granny and grandpa, or a student, or literally anybody who's just on their own, they
Yeah.
can buy the half-size ones
Yes.
for between 20 and 30 Rand. And that gives
Wow.
you 2 meals, 2
Sure.
full, nutritious, tasty, delicious meals.
This is absolutely phenomenal. Tell us how can people support, firstly, this initiative, and secondly, get a hold of you for more information
Yeah.
on how they can, let people in their areas know about this phenomenal resource now.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give a couple of different methods of communication. I want people to also think about it from the point of view of whether they want to order is great, but also to think about sponsoring somebody. They might have somebody that
Yes.
works for them,
Yes.
or just somebody down the road that they want to sponsor and give a meal to. Because for 200 Rand, you can feed somebody's entire family for a week. For 200 Rand. So my contact details, they can find us on 2 different Facebook pages.
Okay.
The one is just the Garden Route Food Pantry, if they find the Garden Route Food Pantry on Facebook. And the other one is Food Sock, and it's singular sock, and then they can find it from there as well. I'm more than happy to give a contact phone number that I don't mind if people want to call me, and then what I can do is I can refer to the Port Elizabeth resellers as as well.
Yes,
My
amazing.
number is 071 427 5638.
Amazing.
So that is easy for people to contact.
Yeah.
And I want to mention one last thing as well, just about the meals. I want people to realize the amount of work we put into making sure that they're good.
Yeah.
We have a number of top South African chefs that have been working on it. Now, anybody who may be a chef or is in the catering industry will
Yes.
probably have heard about Chef Francois Ferreira.
Of
Now,
course.
Francois Ferreira is
Sure.
one of the top chef trainers in the country. He's
Yes,
got a-
and has
a
an
chef
amazing
training-
chef's training school. Hey, right there in George.
He's right there in George.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he's been working with us to make sure that this is top class, and he's
Amazing.
in that sense.
Yes.
And then the other person that's been working with us as well is a chef, an entertainer, and comedian, celebrity by the name of Nathaniel, and most people know
Wow.
Nathaniel.
Yes, yeah.
So he's also passionate about food and food security, and he's also working with us. And then we've got dietitians and nutritionists and all sorts of people that are making sure that these are not just something that's been thrown together, but really good
Yes.
quality.
Wonderful. Well, what do you think the goal is with regards to a food sock, Carl? How can we ensure that we actually end hunger? Is the goal to get it into retail stores so that people can sponsor and then have these meals placed in homes of those that are really in need of nutrition and actually food, having food on the table? What is the goal, and how do we get there?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, I always talk about we need to end hunger, we need to end malnutrition, but the reality is, realistically, we're not going to be able to end hunger by trying to give food for free all the time. There's just not
Yes.
enough resources, there's not enough money.
Yes.
There's so many stumbling blocks in doing that. And at the same time, you also want to give people a bit of dignity. A lot of people,
Absolutely.
they don't want to hand out because it drops them further into despair, and that doesn't help either. But by creating a product that is easily affordable, especially people living on a day-to-day basis, where each and every day they've got to think about how they can get a few rand together to feed their family tonight.
Yes.
So with this product, whether it's a 30 Rand or a 20 Rand, they can go find a food sock at a local retail, an outlet, or contact one of our agents. But yes, we would love to find these in stores. So, I mean, if anybody has the ability to put this on a rack somewhere in their store, they must also contact us, because
Fantastic.
it helps us to list these places on our site that people can go and get their stock from. And
Beautiful.
ultimately, I think we can end hunger. I truly believe we can end hunger. We've got enough resources and enough scope to do that.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I love that. Also, part of the process is giving people dignity to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go into the store and I'm going to purchase this 30 Rand food sock because tonight my family are going to eat well. I think that also
Exactly.
is a wonderful way to create access to food or to placing food
Yeah.
on the table at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So thank you, Carl. Thank you very much. That is
absolutely.
absolutely amazing. What you're doing is phenomenal. Bless you and your team, and we really are praying for this initiative to reach far and wide so that people have access to just affordable, nutritious, wonderful meals. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words.
Alrighty, bless you. Bye-bye.
Isikhululo sakho senkuthazo.
Your inspiration station. Kingfisher FM.